Hey guys, so I'm just gonna get right into this because this is like my second time trying to make this video because I made it too long before, like 30 minutes long, and that's way too long. So a little backstory about me. Most of you know me as Dreamy. That is my artist name. My name is Sarah, and I just wanted to talk about these dreams that I've been having. I don't really know. Some of them, like, I still really haven't been able to decipher much meaning, but they have all been in relation to the end times, like to just the end of the world type stuff. So, a little backstory. I grew up Catholic, and I didn't have a real relationship with God growing up. I didn't know if I believed in God. I didn't really believe in God for a long time, until some events happened, and I'll get into that in another video about my testimony, full on, but I just really don't want to take up too much time on this video. So basically, I got saved towards the end of 2019 at a church called Victory Outreach. I went into recovery there, full-on recovery, and I got saved there, and that is where I began a real relationship with God and began studying the Bible and really what was inside it, because before that, growing up, I didn't really read the Bible at all. We did have it in our house, but I didn't read it. I didn't feel like it was important. I didn't really know if most of the stuff was in there was true or not. I just had my own beliefs about it, so I didn't really pick it up and actually really delve into it and read it until I got saved, and actually understood a lot more that I didn't before, and gained revelation through the Holy Spirit. So I just want to tell you guys, I've been having a lot of dreams about the end times since the start of 2016, and that was before I got saved. There was these 3 specific dreams that I had that actually all went together, and I had them between 2016 and 2018, and I didn't realize that these dreams all went together until I had the 3rd dream, and I, in mid explaining it to somebody that was really close to me at the time, who had been there through these dreams, we both kind of came to the realization that all these dreams went together, except they were in a different order. So it was pretty trippy, and honestly it scared me, but I kind of just like shoved it down and didn't really talk about it. There's only like 4 people in my life who I've told this to and really know about it, and it just makes me kind of nervous sometimes talking about this. And there was also a point where I had written it down in one of my notes on my phones, and I was trying to find it. I cannot find it. I've had a lot of phones since then. I'm thinking probably one of them is the ones that I got that got thrown out, that I had written it down on. But I'm just gonna tell you guys. So basically, this first dream that I had, when I started having these dreams, the first one that I had was in 2016, and I, like I said, at this time, I hardly knew anything about the Bible. I didn't read it. I wasn't thinking about, the end of the world. I was just living in my sin and just like not really worried about a thing. At this time, I was living in Las Vegas with my ex at my apartment, and really wasn't thinking about any of this. So it was just a trip to me. So anyways, this first dream I had this dream when Trump was elected. I had this dream a little bit after. It was either before or after when Trump was elected, when he became president. So sometime before or after that. The people who I've told this dream to probably remember, but right now I don't really know. It was like right before or right after, so sometime during that. And in this dream, it starts out, honestly guys, it's like a movie. It's like I'm watching a movie through my own eyes, like um in my dream. Um it's like when you're watching a movie, like you know, like you don't know what's going on yet when you're watching it, but you start to know like during when you're watching it, obviously. But like the main character knows what's going on like fully. And in my dream it was just like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just like watching a movie through my own eyes. Like it's like I wasn't really in control. It was just watching myself do stuff. And it was so real though. Like I don't know. But anyways, so the dream starts out, I'm at my apartment, and me and my ex that I was living with at the time, in Vegas, we were just like, the dream just starts out just like this. Like we're just grabbing stuff, like we're getting like a bunch of clothes, we're like packing, like something big is happening, is going on, something just happened. And at this time in my dream I didn't know. Okay, so we were just grabbing stuff, like we were packing, we had MREs, like we were getting like food, like anything we could grab, but we were in a big rush, like we had to get out of there. And I didn't know what was going on, so we did that, and then we just had to hurry and rush. We put stuff in the car, and then we just dipped out. So at this time, like I used to live in Las Vegas. I used to live like right like next to Summerlin. Like if you drive up the street, Summerlin was right there. And there used to be this park off of I forget the street, but so I used to live by Tenea, and by that Target right there. So if any of you from Vegas, like, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, if you go up, like you hit Summerlin right there, but there's this park that you can go up that we had discovered in real life like a little bit before. And in my dream, we started going up towards that park, because during the time, like in 2016, like this park was kind of new and not a lot of people knew about it. And then there was like mountains in the back, and it was just like closer to the mountains. It was kind of like a hiking area. There's caves and stuff, and it's actually like a nice park, but it's just really new. And we knew in my dream, like not really many people knew about this place. And so we decided to go up to that park. So anyways, we drive up to the park, and we drive over there, and we park, and there's like a few other people there, really not a lot. Like there's just a couple other people over there at the park that, you know, went over here too, and to, I guess, just try and escape whatever was going on. So at this park, like there's the parking lot, there's like tables right here, and then like looking over, you can see basically like all Las Vegas from this park, like most of it. You can see the entire strip for certain. I'll take a trip out there one day, and I'll actually show you guys like what it is, like exactly what I was looking at from my dreams. So anyways, we're just like all looking over like at the city. You can see like the whole city from here, and we're looking over, we're like waiting for something to happen. And at this point I was still like very confused, but in my dream it's like I knew what was going on. Like I said, like it's just like watching a movie. But anyways, so everybody's just like on their phones except me for some reason. Everybody's just on their phones, like watching the news, like something was actively happening. And I remember my ex, like I could hear him, he was like pacing back and forth, and I could hear his phone, like he had the news on, and it was talking about that there's the lady on the news that was on his phone was talking about that there's aliens running around the city that are demons. Okay, and this is a trip right here. Like they were like it just broke out, like these alien demons were just in the city and like attacking people and stuff like that. And so they were just like getting into people's homes, and just like it was just crazy and creepy, and people were pretty much like being driven out of certain areas, and just like it was just wild. Like, so, and apparently like we had to get out of our complex because the word that had happened in our apartment complex was that these aliens, demons, were like basically like invading our apartment complex specifically as well. And you know, so we had to like, at this point in the dream, like I knew what was going on from the start of the dream because I heard that from my ex's phone in the dream about the news lady talking about the alien demons or whatever. And so it was like kind of like they just discovered that they're actually demons. I don't know. Okay, so it was just crazy. So anyways, we're looking over at the city, and we're just like, it was almost like we're just watching, like waiting for something to happen. Like everybody was just kind of like, you know, just pacing back and forth and just like looking over at the city, trying to, you know, see if they could see anything. And so for some reason, like in my dream, I'm just like, I'm not on my phone. Everybody else is kind of just panicked and you know, running around, and for some reason I'm like staring down like towards the strip, and I'm just like just watching it. And it's almost like I knew something was gonna happen. And so in my dream, like when I was looking over, I seen the Trump Tower. I seen it blow up, and it looked so real that it's almost like it really happened. And so when it blew up, it's like the bombs went off, like but it started a fire. I don't know, like I'm gonna try and explain it to you guys. So it was just like so it started at the top, like it just blew up, and then it was like fire just like immediately started, and then it kept blowing up like all the way down, like it was disintegrating the tower. And so once it like got to the floor, it just didn't stop. This huge fire, it was like a bomb full of fire or something. Like the bombs that were being used had like fiery explosives or something. Like I don't know like if that really exists or whatever, but this is just what I saw. So it was like once it got to the floor from the tower, like just basically just fell like immediately. Like it didn't just blow up and then just, no, it like disintegrated, like boom boom boom, until it got to the floor. And there was nothing except these bombs spread, and they spread like fire, and they kept exploding. And the more they explode, the more fire that kept, you know, rising up and just like disintegrating everything that was around it, like miles apart around it. And I just remember like in my dream, like you could hear people crying. Like it was almost like you can hear the screaming, but it's like the people who were in that vicinity, they couldn't even run away from it. It was like as if they like barely got to turn around to see this fire bombs, like bombs of fire like coming towards them, and then they just got disintegrated. Okay, like they didn't even have to stand a chance. Like everybody who's in that vicinity was for sure just dead. And then just like the surrounding areas after that, those bombs like that the fire didn't spread to, you could just hear people crying. And then like the news lady too, like you can hear like everybody was just like, everything just stopped, and you could just hear like the whole, like from up where we're at from that view, you could hear just people just crying hard. And I was crying, and then everybody was just like around me, like started crying, like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like it was just, it was, it was, it was really, it was really sad. It was really sad. And, um, so, so after this happened, I guess like riots started breaking out like immediately. I don't know why. I mean, this just happened. I don't know why people would start rioting immediately after this event, catastrophe, mourning, you know, immediate mourning, but it did. And riots started just breaking out. And at the same time, there was these alien demons running around in the city. It was just like everything just started happening at once. And so these things, like, they were in these demons, I'm gonna just say demons now, they were in Las Vegas mainly. Like, that's where they started. Like, I guess, I don't know, like, this is where they started. And then they were just mainly in Las Vegas though. I don't know, like, they were taking over Las Vegas. And then they started like spreading around certain areas, but they weren't in like they weren't as much in the areas like that we were in, like Summerlin or Henderson. They were just mainly in Las Vegas. They were still in other parts, but they were mainly just like messing with people in Vegas. I don't know why. But they were also like surrounding like the deserts around Nevada. So it was basically like weird, because it was like anybody who wanted to leave Nevada could not. Like, these demons were out there in the deserts surrounding, like, people just were like stuck in Nevada. Like, it was weird. So anyways, after this happened, me and my ex were like, went back to the car, and in my dream it like fast forwards to like 2 or 3 days, okay, living out the car. It's crazy. Like, I've never had a dream, I've never had a dream where it fast forwards like days. Like, this is the trippy part. So, and then we started getting like short on food. Like, we weren't all the way like, you know, like out of food, but we were getting short on it. So at this point, like on the 3rd or 4th day, I don't know, whatever day it was, like after this happened with the Trump Tower, we were in the car and we were like started arguing, because my ex was like talking about how we needed to get out of the city. We needed to get out of Nevada. And I was like telling him, I was like, but we can't, you know, these demons are like surrounding Nevada, like they're keeping everybody in. And you know, I was like where are we gonna go? How are we gonna get out of here? So he was arguing with me, because in my dream he was telling me that there was like this shortcut, okay, but we would have to go past Area 51. And honestly, like, I haven't looked this up. I don't know. Like, I don't know even how far Area 51 is from where we were at in Summerlin, like next to Las Vegas. I don't know. But like, this is just what happened in my dream. So he's telling me like we have to go past Area 51, and there was like some shortcut to go around to get to California and all this to get out of Nevada. And I was like, no, like, I was like, if these things are anywhere, like, they're gonna be all up over there, Area 51, you know, like, we've heard the stories and all this and that. And we were arguing, but he was in the driver's seat, so he just already started driving towards that way. And I was like, whatever, you know what, like, whatever. So in my dream I fell asleep in the car. This is what's crazy. Like, it's like, how you fall asleep in your dream and then still wake up in the dream, you know what I mean? Like, it was just so real. So anyways, in my dream I fell asleep in the car. I don't know for how long. And then my ex started like, you know, like shoving me, like waking me up, like once we were like close to Area 51. And so I woke up, and then I started seeing like we were coming up on these huge fences, like big fences, super tall fences. And then there was just these buildings with numbers on them. And it was dark, but there was like these big like lights like on the buildings. And there was like barbed wire and stuff like that. I don't really remember anything other than those things specifically, but because in my dream it was dark, but I just remember like looking over and like just seeing like we were driving past. So as we're driving past these like big old fences and the buildings and stuff, there was this super big freaking alien spaceship. It's like the circle ones, just like you guys have all seen, like a huge one just started following us. Like it comes up from this way and it just starts following us, like following our car. And it's going slow, and then my ex, he starts driving faster, and then this thing starts coming at us faster. And I just remember in my dream I was so scared. We were panicking, like we were just like yelling at each other. And I was like, I thought we were dead. Like I was like, we're dead, like this is it, you know. But for some reason the only prayer that kept coming into my mind during this dream that I remember, that they would say in the Catholic Church when I was growing up, for some reason this prayer just came into my mind. And it's the Our Father prayer from the Bible. And so it came into my mind. I just started saying it, and I just kept saying it. And then all of a sudden, like as I was saying it with my eyes closed and we were like driving, the alien spaceship, it left. It just like dipped out. I don't know where it went. And then I just remember just relief, like just dropping, like in my dream, like I was feeling like just like that, like oh my gosh, like let's get out of here. So we ended up turning back around because we're like, okay, we can't go this way, like whatever plan he had, like no. So we ended up turning back around, going back up to that Summerlin Park. And then I guess like in my dream we stood up there for like another 2 days, and still until we really like were like almost done with our food. Like it was basically like already almost gone, like our food. So so in my dream, like we ended up walking down towards like civilization. We were like scared to go down there though, because we didn't really know. Like in the distance from this view, I remember looking over before we started like walking down, because it's like kind of like you have to go uphill to get to this park. So I don't know why we walked there though. I don't know if the car didn't have gas or what was going on. But anyways, we started walking down the hill to get to civilization, because we needed to go get more food and you know, supplies or whatever. So we started walking down, and then we come to this 7-Eleven, and we're like, oh, okay, there's a 7-Eleven, like let's go see what's up. And so there's this homeless man that's standing outside a 7-Eleven, right? And he's got a chocolate donut, he's got a banana and a coffee. I remember that. He's got those little, what is it, those coffees that are like this big, just a small like regular cup. And so like this guy, he was already homeless before all this stuff went down, like he was telling us. So it wasn't like he wasn't even like really tripping about everything. Like, so I remember we're like asking him, we're like, where did you get that food from? Where did you get that? And then he was like, he was like in mid chewing, and then he was like, I just got it right there at the 7-Eleven for 50 cents. And then I was like, what? You got that for 50 cents? And he was like, yeah. And then we were like, my ex was pulling out some change he had in his pocket. We didn't even have 50 cents. We had like a dime, a nickel. I had some pennies. Like we were trying to put it together. And the homeless man actually was like helping us. He gave us some change to go and get the food. So we were like, oh, you know, like thank you. And so we went in there. Surprisingly, even with all this going on, like I was like, how is there somebody working right now, like regular, like literally, like outside there was buildings that there was still riots going on all over the city. Like there was buildings that were literally still like on fire. There was these alien demons or whatever, like just around the city. There was people that had just become homeless. There's a lot of homeless people, like new homeless people, just out on the streets. And like it was like, excuse me guys, excuse me, I just I was eating some pizza. So there's just all this like going on, right? And I'm like, how is there somebody still working at 7-Eleven right now? Like it was tripping me out, but I was like, whatever. So we went in. We had that guy. He actually gave us enough money, enough change to like get ourselves like donuts and like for each of us like a donut, a banana, and a coffee. So like $1 for all that for both of us. So we did that, and then we went outside, and then we just like went back to talking to that homeless guy. And I mean, at this point we were all homeless, so we were just talking to him, and my ex was talking to him, and we're just like, yeah. And then we bummed a couple of cigarettes off this guy, and we were just all smoking. We're just like, honestly, we were just like, F it, like, excuse me guys, but this is just what we were, what we were saying. We're just like, man, like there's no way out of this, like we can't get out of here, like we're stuck in Nevada. And everybody was just kind of like, like knew like stuff was going down, like it just wasn't gonna get better at this point. And at this point, like it started with us, but it was like spreading towards like the entire world. But it started in Las Vegas first for some reason. So anyways, I ended up like stepping away from them in my dream as they're like, we're all talking, and then I ended up like stepping away from them because I wanted to call my mom, so I called my mom, and I was just talking to her about like what was going on. I was like giving her like an update or whatever, and just telling her like, hey, like this is what's happening, and we're like stuck out here, da da da, whoop de whoop. So my mom, like, she starts talking, like in my dream, like I'm listening to her, I'm on the phone with her, and in real life, during this time, my mom was already saved. So in my dream, when I was on the phone with her, she started talking to me about God, and started talking to me about this and that, and like I was just like, yeah, but then all of a sudden, as I was on the phone with her, like I just like, something just happened in me, and I just stopped. Like I wasn't even listening to her anymore. Like I just stopped, and for some reason, like I just looked through these two mountains, okay? There's these two mountains that were like up ahead, and then there was like a space in between where you could walk through, and it was the desert. But like all these alien demons are out there in the desert, but this was like a way out of Nevada. Like in my mind or in my dream, this is what I was believing for some reason. And I was looking, this is the part where it gets scriptural, that at this time I was not saved when I had this dream. And that's why I really feel like this was from God, because I didn't know anything about this at the time. Like in real life, I did not know about this. So I was looking through these two mountains. I'm on the phone with my mom, and she's talking about God, da 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 da, and then I just start pointing, I start pointing to these two mountains, like through the space in between them, and I was like, we have to go to Jerusalem. I was like, Mom, like we have to go to Jerusalem. I was like, Mom, I was like, get Felicia, that's my sister. Sorry, I don't mean to say your name on here, but I was like, get whatever you can get your clothes, pack your clothes, get some canned food, whatever. I was like, we have to go to Jerusalem. And I was like, I'll meet you at the house. Like, I will be over there and we're gonna all go to Jerusalem. And then my mom on the other side, she's like, oh, okay, are you sure? And I was like, yes, we have to go. I don't know. I didn't know, like, okay, let me just get towards the end of the dream. So after that, I hung up on the phone real quick. And then I went and talked to my ex. He was still talking to the other guy, and I was just like, pulled him away. I was like, hey, I was like, we have to go to Jerusalem, like right now. And then he was like, Jerusalem? Like literally just like that. And he was like, what are you talking about? He's like, how are you gonna get to Jerusalem? And like he was looking at me like dumb, like just like, what are you talking about? Like just like I was crazy. I mean, I get it, you know, it sounded crazy. And he's like, you really? And I was pointing towards the mountains, like to go through there. Like that was how we were gonna get out of Nevada to get to our families, to get to Jerusalem for some reason. Okay. And so I was telling him this. He was like, there's demons out there. Like, how are we can't go through there. Like, you know, everything that was just like, I was crazy. And then I just remember I looked at him straight in his eyes and I was like, you can stay here if you want to, but I have to go to Jerusalem. I remember saying that, like specifically just looking him dead in his face and just saying that. Like I was so adamant about this in my dream. And then I just started walking away, like towards wherever my car was. I don't know if I was gonna put gas in it. I don't know what was going on with the car, okay? But I needed to get to the car so I could get to Jerusalem. And we'll get my family and get to Jerusalem, okay? So as I was walking away though, my ex is like yelling at me and like I just would not look back. I didn't look at him, like I didn't turn around. I just was walking and like I could hear him like yelling, like he was like, where are you going? Like come back, like, but he didn't follow me either, you know? He didn't try to catch up with me or anything. He was just like yelling at me like to come back. And I just didn't. I didn't look at him. I didn't look back. I just kept walking. And then I woke up. Okay? That was it. Then I woke up. And then when I woke up, literally when I woke up, it was just like this. It was like, like just, like it was so real. Like I was so deep in that vivid dream that it was just like I woke up like just like that. And I was like, just started crying, like, and I was crying for like 20-30 minutes. I didn't get out of bed. I just was crying and crying and crying and crying. And sorry, but so sorry. So I remember I called my mom, and at this time in my life, like you know, I had never really been close with my mom, but I knew like she had got saved, and I just wanted to call her and tell her that this dream that I had, because I didn't understand it, and it was so real, and I was scared, and I just needed some understanding or just something. And I remember I called my mom after I finally got out of bed when I was like crying and stuff. And I remember at the time too, like I didn't want to tell my ex right away about the dream. And he was asking me like why I was crying and stuff, and I just didn't want, I don't know, I just didn't feel like I could talk to him about it at that time. I eventually told him, but I just wanted to call my mom first and tell her. And so I called her, and then I remember I was on the phone with her, and I told her about the dream, and then she was like telling me about how it says in the Bible, it talks about a new Jerusalem in Revelation. And I just was like, I still didn't look it up after that, though. At this time, I don't even think I owned a Bible. I don't think I had one in my house, so I didn't really like make that effort, not even to like go on my phone at least. But it just really bothered me, and then I ended up having another dream, another one of the three dreams a year later, and then the last one 6 months after that. And then ever since then, it's been like dreams. Just like, honestly, I don't even really dream anymore. Like, I don't have dreams, okay? Like, and the only time at this point in my life when I have dreams, it'll be something about the future. And I've even had a recent dream that actually happened. And even in the past, the only time like I would really I used to have lucid dreams in the past, but then I would have dreams where they would end up happening like exactly similar, like in the near future. And it's really weird. Like, I don't know. I'm not claiming to be anything, okay? I'm just telling you guys how it is. And I'll get into more like videos. But so anyways, like, there's this Bible verse that the one that my mom was talking about after I told her about this dream the first time. And her and my sister know about this. And I've been holding on to this dream and the other ones that I have for like years. And I finally feel like now, with everything going on, like, God keeps telling me like, hey, like, you need to post this stuff. And this video ended up still being way long. But anyways, so in Revelation 21 chapter 1, it says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea." So real quick, as you know, it talks about the rapture in Thessalonians, about how all the believers right now, once Jesus comes, he's going to take us up with him, in these last days. So the rapture. So this is in Revelation. So then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." He who was seated on the throne said, "I am making everything new." Then he said, "Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true." So I just wanted to really this really just hits me, because this is a dream that I had when I wasn't saved by Christ, that I didn't know what to believe, really. Like, I knew there was a God, but I believed in a God in my own way that fit my lifestyle. And it really hits me, because this was, it was like in my dream, it's like in my dream, like, at this time, like, God already knew that he already knew he was going to save me. He already knew that I was going to make that choice to follow him eventually, before he comes. And I have another story of something that had happened spiritually with me when I was in the home at Victory Outreach that I would like to share. Eventually, you know, I still want to share just more things with you guys. You know, this was just crazy. This was the craziest dream I've ever had in my entire life. And, you know, because there was a scripture in it and because of things that are going on now, it just seems like it really means something at this time, with what's going on in the world and what's going on in the spiritual world too. But anyways, you know, I just wanted to share this with you guys. Comment. Maybe there's other things you notice about my dream. Anything else that you notice might be scriptural. I don't know. The biggest thing was the New Jerusalem thing and going to Jerusalem in my dream. That's where the believers are gonna go, you know. So I don't know. It's just a trip. So I'm gonna be sharing more stuff, and sorry about getting so emotional, guys. Like, this is not I don't like getting emotional on camera. I really don't. But anyways, I'm just keeping it real with you guys, you know. So yeah, follow my Instagram at really dreamy. I'll be posting stuff, posting truths about certain things. If you guys want to follow me, you know, it would mean a lot, because you know, I feel like really people need to be informed more about what's going on spiritually that is actually happening in the real world today, and a lot of prophetic things that from the Word of God that are taking place now. And you know, I love you guys. God bless every single one of you. Thank you for watching this. If you watched this all the way through, sorry it was so long. This is actually longer than the last one by like 12 minutes. So anyways, I'll let you guys go. Have a blessed day.